Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Come on. Do it! Do it!
Well, that was one fucked up horror picture. I'll be the first one to admit that I've been rough on modern horror over the past few years. Mostly because the mainstream consists of sequels to classic franchises that are desperately trying to recapture the magic of horror past and usually failing miserably.
It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's gonna happen?
How ironic is it that an original horror picture actually recaptures that magic much better? Much more so than the lazy requel trend that is happening right now. Something to think about, Hollywood. And I'll take it a step further. The look, tone, and aesthetic of this movie felt more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie than the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Director Ti West was very clearly drawing inspiration from the horror movies of the late 70s and early 80s. And in my opinion, he did so brilliantly.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot, it's serious!
So X takes place in 1979 and follows a young group of filmmakers and actors who are attempting to make a porno film in rural Texas. So they rent this living space located on a farm inhabited by an old couple. But once that couple discovers what's really going on, let's just say shit hits the fan.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
This movie is very graphic in nature, as it pertains to both the sexual and horror elements of it. Honestly, it was a breath of fresh air to see a more sexual side of horror make a return here. Horror from the era that this movie is paying homage to is synonymous with sex, and they always try to form that connection between sex and murder. What Ti West in X does is form a more direct connection between those two things, and that in itself made it feel so natural. Like it was simultaneously familiar and fresh at the same time, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
At a very basic level, this movie has a lot of good-looking people having sex and then meeting their grisly end, which is pretty much what we want from horror. I did a video a while back talking about how I would do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, and how I would take more of an advantage of the beautiful Texas landscape as a backdrop to all the horrible things that go on in that movie. And much to my approval, X does exactly that.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
We constantly get these beautiful wide shots of the Texas landscape that basically set the stage for everything that's going to be coming after that. These establishing shots build the atmosphere for this film, and every great horror film should have its own atmosphere. This movie is also kind of a slow burn, which I also loved. The whole time I'm waiting for the film to take a turn, and when it does, it's absolutely fucking glorious. Ti West does a lot of very interesting things visually in this film. We get these random cutaway shots that are sprinkled into scenes every so often, and it makes everything feel a bit uneasy, again, adding to the tone of the film.
I'm feeling woozy here!
He also does a great job of building tension because you are constantly waiting for something horrific to happen. He also did this interesting thing where he'll show a scene being shot in the porno movie that kind of coincides with something going on with a character that's on a different part of the farm. There's lots of interesting stylistic choices like that that all worked for me. The kills were all great, and one in particular was exceptionally brutal. And again, that scene is enhanced by a creative visual choice by Ti West.
No shit.
And it basically is someone's blood muting the headlights of a car, and it creates this very ominous look to the film in that particular scene. It's little touches like that that actually make your kills stand out and become memorable. As far as the characters go, there are some cliche choices here, but I think that was done on purpose in a way, because after all, we are paying homage to films that built those cliches. That's not to say that all of those characters are one note either.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I think Ti West actually went out of his way to add little nuances to each of them to either make them likable or more unlikable. And it proves that you really don't have to do much to make a character just a little bit interesting. It's nice that each one of them kind of get at least one moment to shine. Even the blonde bimbo character, which again is kind of refreshing to see. Something as simple as telling her cameraman to shoot a scene at a particular angle so it looks like the actor pumping the gas is doing it with his dick. Sounds ridiculous, but it plays up to who she is as a character.
Tits. Hoo-ah.
Shout out to Kid Cudi for making a memorable appearance as a porn star, by the way. As far as the old couple goes, it would be hard to reveal much about them without spoiling anything. Let's just say that their characters do not go in the direction I thought they would go in. I actually loved the cast of this movie. I thought everyone worked in the roles that they were in. I loved the use of classic rock songs to enhance the retro aesthetic. And I just really enjoyed the overall vibe of the film. It's definitely a throwback to a simpler time.
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
It's actually kind of fitting that one of the main characters is doing blow throughout the film, because like most movies from the 70s and 80s, they all always came off like they were being made by people in Hollywood who are consistently high on drugs. And there was a little bit of that feeling in X, and they were definitely trying to recreate that vibe. This movie just goes into directions that I clearly was not expecting, but not in a boring, subverting expectations kind of way. And more in a this is batshit insane and I'm having a great time kind of way. There's even a somewhat deeper message in this movie about what it means to be young and beautiful, and how you should take advantage of that time when you have it. Overall, honestly, I thought X was exactly what the doctor ordered. There's something very special about going into a movie theater and watching an original horror movie and not knowing what to expect. The trailers did a great job of not revealing too much, but also making me excited to see what it was all about. And taking all that into account, it made for an enjoyable time at the movies that I so desperately needed.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's about time!
It's nice to know that there are still directors and studios out there who are willing to take chances and not play it so safe. X does not play it safe by any means, and on top of all of that, it clocks in at a breezy hour and 45 minutes. It's not overindulgent, it gets its message across, and still manages to have fun in the process. This is definitely something I'll be watching again and also purchasing on physical media. That's why I'm going to be giving X the pleased Palpatine.
Good.
So have you seen X? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.